Let's watch some Greg and Tim show clips.
Okay, hooray. It's time for the topic of the day. So I'm going to connect love languages
Yeah, for sure.
and Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And I'm going to premise this by explaining love languages.
Does this mean
Yeah.
that I could possibly save some money this Christmas?
You might be able to.
Yeah.
So there are the gentleman by the name of Gary Chapman wrote a book
Yeah.
called The 5 Love Languages.
Yeah.
And it was how people experience love.
Yeah.
And there are 5 ways in which they do. Gift giving, quality time, acts of service, affirmation, and it
Words
says
of
quality
affirmation.
time twice there. So what would be the fifth? What would be the fifth one? It would be
touch.
physical touch. So those 5 love languages, and by the way, Gary Chapman came to our church,
Yeah.
I believe it was 10, 12 years ago in that
Some time
area,
ago, yeah.
with his wife and spoke on this. So I'm fascinated about this, about human behavior and how they experience love, but directly correlated to how we appreciate Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So in our household,
Mhm.
once every couple of years, we take the money and we don't do a lot for gifts. My mentality is we will travel, use the money and experience life. Not getting a physical gift for the kids, but spend it for our family trip. So for me, my love language is not gifts, obviously, because I gravitate away from that and I want to experience life with people. So
Yeah.
for me, something like quality time would be higher because I have that mentality. And I always reference this by asking people, what did you get last year for Christmas?
Yeah.
And half the time, I'm not going to say all the time because people do remember, half the time they don't remember,
Yeah.
but you never forget experiences.
That's right.
They stay with you forever because they're special.
Unless they get a
More
gift
special.
that's super special.
Right.
And you asked me, I think in episode 2 or 3,
Yeah.
what I got for my wife for our anniversary last year.
Right.
And I forgot.
Right.
But I do remember.
Right.
I
At the
remembered
time-
shortly after.
Yeah.
We got those forever bracelets. I've actually got one on right now.
And I remember,
Lorraine got one as well.
Yeah.
And basically they're soldered on, so you can't take them off.
Right.
And it's just something we did. I always do something a little different for anniversaries. I don't think that Lorraine's love language is gifts. I believe hers is acts of service. So when I do things for her, like if I unloaded the dishwasher this morning, which I did not. So she got home and did not feel the love. But I worked all day. I think words of affirmation and quality time might be
you're
hers
recording
too.
a podcast.
And I'm doing a podcast this evening. What's your top?
So
what was your top
So
one? Do you
sent
remember?
this to me a couple of nights ago, and we both went through this. I mean, there's so many different
The quiz.
tests and
Well,
quiz.
we're putting the quiz in the comments below.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to take the quiz, the link is just below in the description of the
Right.
video. So feel free to take the quiz.
Yeah.
And if you take the quiz, I want you to comment below what your top 2 love languages are.
And I mean, it gets to the point. I think it's a little bit. It wasn't as in depth as I'd like. Some of the questions were like neither.
Do you know why they do that though?
Why is that?
It's because it's got to be one or the other.
Right.
So like it asked me like a ton of times,
Yeah.
this or a gift, this or a present,
Right.
this or an item,
Yeah.
and it was because it wants you to place these things and you're like, oh no, I actually would like that. Right. So it's weighting things. And because you keep picking like quality time,
Yeah.
or words of affirmation or whatever you're picking, what was your top one?
It was.
Do you remember?
In front of me.
I have it.
Did we have the same top one? Right?
No,
No.
we had 2 different top ones.
If I'm not mistaken, was it acts of service?
Nope.
What was it?
Acts of service is actually 4th for you.
Okay.
Words of affirmation.
Okay.
So this is why every episode, at the end of the episode, I tell you, Tim,
Yeah.
you did an amazing job.
No. Unload the dishwasher.
Now unload the dishwasher for my wife so that I can get in the good books. No, you're very much like Stuart Smalley, I
Yeah.
think. You stand in front of the mirror and you're like,
I
I
am
am
enough.
good.
I'm
I am
smart enough.
and doggone it, people like me.
That's funny how we both remember that. SNL.
It's a great skit.
You remember who did that?
Yeah, it was the one of the writers. I can't remember
It was
his
Al
name.
Franken.
Al Franken,
And
right?
do you remember what he did after he left SNL? He ran for governor of
Right.
Minnesota.
Yeah. He did a lot of things.
I think it was Minnesota.
I think he was a liberal governor,
I
right?
think he won. Yeah, I think he was governor.
He might have.
Yeah.
He was a very interesting character. He also had a movie, I think. Did he do a movie with Stuart?
Stuart Saves the World, it was called.
Was it?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Anyways, we're getting way off topic. But in terms of love languages, in terms of stuff for Christmas gifts, if you know your spouse's love language, so share the link with your spouse, or share the video here and then let them watch it, and then click the link after the video. Watch the whole video, then click the link. Find out what their love languages are, and you can really help yourself this Christmas.
Yeah.
For instance, like if your spouse's love language isn't gifts, if that's the last thing on their list, maybe you should be doing things that is on their list. Save your money.
Those coupons, back rub.
No, but like quality time is going to cost you money still. But maybe you go and buy like 2 tickets to a theater, or 2 tickets to
and that's
Thermea, or you know what I mean? But you also have to know what they like.
Yeah.
Like if they don't like musicals, don't buy them 2 tickets to a musical.
Yeah.
If your wife is not a hockey fan,
yeah.
I know that quality time, you love hockey and you love hanging out with your wife, but your wife may not like hockey.
She likes hockey.
Right?
What do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas? I don't think I want anything. No, like Lorraine's asked me multiple times. No, I don't know what I want for Christmas, because we're in the day and age that we just buy things that we need or want.
Right.
And we don't wait anymore like we used to. And I think it's because things can get delivered to you within 3 days.
Right.
You don't have to go out shopping. It's sent to you on your phone. Oh, you would like this. And then you're like, oh, I would like that. You click it, you click buy, and it's already at home. Right? Whereas back in the day, you would get the Sears catalog and you'd be like circling things and everything like that. And then you'd have to actually physically go out and get it.
Yeah.
And now that barrier to purchasing is gone.
It's kind of funny that we have this social stigma that we buy presents for Christmas and birthdays. But, you know, we could easily just buy presents for Thanksgiving, too. It's a holiday.
Yeah.
The States is just as big as Christmas, if not more.
Easter, we buy chocolate.
Right, but it's not a present, right? We don't buy Easter presents for people.
Yeah, like I've always got Easter gifts.
You have?
Yeah. The Easter Bunny delivers them.
Okay, but that's chocolate and...
No, it
bunnies.
was gifts and stuff when I was a child, and it's gifts for my kids.
Right. We'll hide the eggs, all that stuff, right?
Well, and it's also
you
gifts.
don't wrap up a gift for Easter and say...
You don't wrap it up, but there's a gift always there. But like, let's say act of service.
Yeah.
What's your suggestion for somebody whose love language is acts of service? Like to get them for Christmas.
Remember as kids, you have no money, so you'd be like, write out those coupons for your mom, like 5 back rubs, and you'd write out the coupons.
Yeah, those are lame, though.
And then they'd tell your wife 3 and
those are lame.
So they're kind of funny, lame.
So if acts of service is on their list, find out what else is on their list in the top 3.
Right.
Like quality time, like touch, gifts, acts of service, and words of affirmation.
Yeah.
So essentially my list, my top 3 are quality time, words of affirmation, and touch.
Right.
Acts of service is 4th, and gifts is 5th. To me, I love hanging out with my wife.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with my kids.
Yeah.
Like I like the quality time aspect.
Yeah.
But I also like the quality time to be something that I want to do.
Where was the question or one of the responses that you could pick that if present would be to send me to Thermea on my own for 10 hours
Quality.
without anybody?
Acts of service.
That was never on one of the options. Like, that sounds great.
That's acts of service.
Okay.
I would assume that would be acts of service.
Do you like doing things on your own, by the way?
I do. And it's not because I don't want to be with my family.
Yeah.
It's mostly because when I go, like, let's say I go to a Jays game in Toronto,
yeah.
I like going by myself
yeah.
because then I can do everything on my own time.
Right.
And my family doesn't want to be at the Jays game for 5 hours,
no.
but I'll get there 3 hours early and stay half an hour to an hour after the game and not just rip in and rip out, right?
I'll go to sporting events, go see movies. I'd sit at a spa for 8 hours on my own. But I'm an only child, so take it or leave it.
I'm not an only child,
right.
But I still like that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also like hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So like if Lorraine wants to go to the movies, I want to go with her.
Yeah.
I'm not really a movie guy by myself.
Right.
Sports, for the most part, I like going by myself because of my desire to like do stuff at sporting events.
Yeah.
Whereas going to a movie, going for dinner, that kind of thing, I like to do it with other people.
So going back to your question, what do you give somebody who for acts of service? Was
Yeah.
that? Well, like you said, well, if it's a gift though,
Like Thermea, a
Yeah.
Thermea thing.
it depends what they would like to do, right? It's usually for my wife, she would like to do something with me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to give her just her,
So like I
something,
said,
she would-
figure out what else is in their top 3 and go with that instead.
Yeah.
If gifts isn't in their top 3, don't feel bad about not getting them like a gift.
Yeah.
And figure out like how you can make their life easier, make their day better, or give them an event or an experience that they haven't had before.
make sure their car battery is fully charged.
Make sure their car battery is fully charged. If anybody's listening to that out in the podcast world,
Billy,
make sure the car battery is fully charged. Hey, thanks for watching this Greg and Tim Show clip. If you want to watch the whole episode, it is linked below. And if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they will be beside us here. One's probably there, one's right here. And you can click the middle part right here that will have the subscribe button. So right here in middle, and then you can click on the other episodes and check us out. Thanks. Subscribe.